In this lecture, I want to talk about the ChatGPT Plus membership to show you how to get it, how much it costs, and when will you need it. So first of all, the Plus membership costs around $20 per month USD. I previously quoted a $30 amount in the previous video, but that's because I was converting it into Canadian dollars. How do I get the Plus membership? If I click on my name on the left bottom, it gives me the option of my plan. And as you see here, my current plan is already upgraded. If it's not, it will give you the prompt to click on this button and update your plan by providing it with your credit card details. And this is the way you can go inside ChatGPT and update it to the Plus membership. When would you need the Plus membership? First of all, if you can afford it and $20 per month is not a huge cost for you, I would definitely recommend that you work with ChatGPT 4 because it's at least 30 to 40% better in terms of understanding the job and producing the relevant output that we need from the model. With that being said, it's not a requirement or a mandatory for you to take this course to have the membership. We can do essentially everything that we want with ChatGPT 3.5 as long as this course is concerned. There are only two places where you would need GPT-4 if you're interested in learning about them, which is when we start playing around with Code Interpreter, which is essentially a Python tool connected with ChatGPT that allows you to write Python scripts and do data analysis and Python programming sort of a work. And secondly, with the plugins. The plugins allows ChatGPT to connect with external third-party data sources, such as there's a plugin for Expedia. I can go in and search, can you help me plan a trip for next month to Chicago for 3 days, find me the cheapest flights with the lowest transit time possible, and also recommend hotels and cars which are close to the airport. So if I go with that plugin of Expedia and I put in this prompt, then ChatGPT will request Expedia for all the data, aggregate the data, and then show it to me based on the Expedia's website. So that's the power of plugins and Code Interpreter. But if you're not working with these two tools and your main job is to generate text, which either in the form of content, copywriting, or in the form of coding, you wouldn't need ChatGPT 4. But I would highlight on the significance of this again, that if you can afford $20 per month, definitely get it. You'll get a better output. But at the same time, it's not required. In this lecture, I want to give you a quick overview of the ChatGPT Playground, which is an alternate way of getting access to ChatGPT versus the ChatGPT interface that we have gone through in the previous lectures. So I'll just go to Google and I'll type ChatGPT Playground. It will take me to this link for platform.openai.com/playground. And when I click on it, this nice interface opens up of the playground. Now, when would be a good time for you to use ChatGPT Playground? I can think of three different instances. Number one, if you're a free member for ChatGPT 3.5 and it's constantly blocking you down because of server errors and there is not server space available, in that case, you can come to the Playground and use Playground because that is usually available even when the servers are down. Secondly, when you're playing around with the APIs, this will be useful because it gives you an idea of what sort of response to expect when you're sending a prompt through an API. And thirdly, and one of the most critical reasons why I'm here is because it provides a very fun, playful, customizable way of learning with ChatGPT. There are a lot of different features and available here for you that you can learn from, that you can get inspired from, and then use those features in your ChatGPT interface. So now let's start with it. On the right side, you see there is something called mode, and there are three modes available: chat, complete, and edit. Now, these are the three essential key features that ChatGPT offers us. Let's try each one of them one by one. So for the first one, we see a chat, the mode is chat, And here I can do two things. I can enter a system message and I can enter a user message. So think of a chat like a chatbot. So for example, if think of ChatGPT as a chatbot that we are creating for our own restaurant, and when a customer sends in a message, it will reply based on the menu items that are already there. So to do that, what I've done is I got a list of menu items for an Indian restaurant. So this is the menu for our Indian restaurant. Now I can ask a question using the chat mode from the menu and it will give me the answer. So let's say I'm a customer and I want to understand what's the price of a vegetable spring roll in my restaurant. Now, since that data is already available, ChatGPT chat mode will be able to give me an answer of $5. So two pieces of vegetable spring rolls are $5. So that's essentially what chat mode can do for you. The next is complete. And now you see the interface change because now I'm going to ask a question and it's going to complete it for me. What is the capital of France? Or a better way to write it is the capital of France is, and if I click submit now, the answer should be Paris. So now this is completion mode. It completed my sentence based on the question I asked. Now I can just press enter and send in my next prompt if I want to. Write me two, actually 100 words on history of Paris. So now it's going to go and complete the task that I assigned it, and it's going to write me 100 words on the history of Paris. So that's the most basic use of the complete mode. Now let's try the edit mode. So what edit mode did was it took my previous answer from complete mode and it put it as my input. And now I have my instructions here at the bottom where I can ask anything based on the text that I want. So now I can ask it a question such as fix spellings based on UK English and hit enter. And now you see that it has updated my spellings. How do I know that? So you see how center is spelled here, intellectual center, CENTER. It changed the spelling of center to the British English, which is CENTRE. So in this way, I used the edit mode to update an existing text by providing it an instruction. We can do all of this in ChatGPT as well, in the interface as well. The idea is to show you how the playground works. And the last thing I want to show you here is that time sign next to the submit button. When you click on it, you can see your previous 30-day history of the chat, and you can essentially go back to a previous prompt that you wrote. So for instance, if I click here, it took me back to the 200 words that we wrote on the history of Paris. So back in the playground, if we click here on examples, it will show you a couple of different examples that you can use ChatGPT for. And I'm showing you this for inspiration purposes to give you ideas of how ChatGPT can be integrated into your life, personal and professional, to improve your productivity. So now you see you can summarize something as a sixth grader, grammar correction, parse unstructured data into structured data, extract keywords, Python bug fixer, and so on and so forth. So now if you want to use any one of them, you just need to click on it and then open in Playground, and it will open it in a new tab in Playground. If you like the output and you want to save it, you can click on Save, rename it to whatever you want, and this will be saved in this toggle list below. So I've already saved a couple of them for you here to play around with. Let's see summarizing something as a fifth grader. So let's do black hole. So now black hole is a very complex physics concept, but because we said summarize it to a second grader, it's going to do it in a very simple basic language. A black hole is a very spatial and mysterious thing in space. It is a place where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape from it. So it's trying to explain it to a second grader in very easy language. It is like a super powerful vacuum cleaner in space. Similarly, I can use a different one, for instance, a review classifier. So now what does it do? It picks up a random review and it summarized it for us and then provided an answer. So if you have a review in mind that you want it to test it out, go ahead, paste the review in the user section and press submit, and it will give you a summary of the main key points discussed in the review. So difficult to store, difficult to transport. Why is it saying that? Because here in the review it says it's quite heavy and bulky, which makes it difficult to transport and store. Similarly, I can ask it for grammar correction. I can ask it for emoji translations. For instance, artificial intelligence is a technology with great promise. Now, if I click submit, it's going to try and come up with emojis to explain this. So now it's using the bulb for technology. Artificial intelligence has been assigned by the robot and a great promise via increasing trend chart. Similarly, I can ask it to write a rap battle. For here, I can change it to anyone I want. Let's say Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan and Alan Turin in 200 words. And if I press submit, it's going to start rapping for me. So these are some of the very basic tasks that you can work around with the playground. I would highly suggest that you go to this link of examples on the platform.openai.com and then look through these and give it a hard thought on which ones apply to you and your work the most and which ones are your favorite.